नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Canto 11, Chapter 2, Text 13. So we'll repeat. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Matajis. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanah smarito bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. Word to word translation. Tvaya, by you, parama, supremely, kalyanaha, blissful, punya, very pious, shravana, hearing, kirtanaha, and chanting, about whom, smaritaha, brought to memory, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, adya, today, devaha, narayanaha, Lord Narayana, mama, my. Translation and purport by servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Today you have made me remember my Lord, the supremely blissful personality of Godhead Narayana. The Supreme Lord is so auspicious that whoever hears and chants about Him becomes completely pious. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami had stated, Narayanas tadrisha dharme madiya guna rupo Narayana Rishi. The word Narayana in this verse refers to the incarnation of Godhead Narayana Rishi, who acted as Narada's spiritual master in this dharma. Srila Jiva Goswami has also pointed out, Smarita iti Krishno Pashana Veshena Tasyapi Vismaranat. The word Smarita, he is brought back to memory, indicates that because of Narada's absorption in the worship of Krishna, he had forgotten Lord Naranarayan. In other words, if intense engagement in devotional service makes one sometimes forget the personality of Godhead, by Krishna's arrangement, such a sincere servitor will again be reminded of the personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So before we start, I'd like to take the blessings of Maharaj and all other senior Vaishnavas so that we can... this is a very wonderful topic which is going on, so that we can discuss about this wonderful topic of discussion between Narad Muni and the father of Krishna, Vasudeva. So this specific shloka which comes Tvaya Parama Kalyanaha Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Smarito Bhagavanadya Devo Narayano Mama, that Narad Muni is greatly elevated. He is feeling great ecstasy by the inquiry of, because he is at the home of Krishna, and then the father who is there, and then he is discussing. So Vasudeva is asking Narad Muni to bless that they will be able to serve and remember Krishna. So this is a very amazing situation where Krishna's father is telling Narad Muni that you are a great devotee of Krishna, so please bless us so that we can remember Krishna. So, and Narad Muni also is very happy to hear this, and then he is now going to give a very nice previous history, how Maharaj Nimi asked many questions, and 9 Yogendras, who were the sons of Rishabhadev, and they will be giving very wonderful discourse, asking question answers like that. So specifically, previous verse also was very powerful, that Shuto Anupadato Dhyat Adruto Vanumoditaha Sadhya Punati Saddharmo Deva Vishwa Druhopihi. That pure devotional service rendered to Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories in response, by meditating on it, by respectfully and faithfully accepting it, or by praising the devotional service of others. Even persons who hate the demigods and all other living beings can be immediately purified. So we see that the devotional service is so potent that it can bring transformation where transformation is practically impossible. So here we see that Narad Muni is telling that I was remembered. Smarito Bhagavan Adya Devo Narayano Mama. And as Jiva Goswami says that Narad Muni is remembered Lord Narayana, this Nara Narayana Rishi. So we see here that the whole practice of devotional service is to bring about remembrance of Krishna. Because all other activities, rules, regulations, processes, vidhi, they all are just meant to create this one result, and that is remembrance of Krishna. And that's how Prabhupada says, that shloka is there, Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu Vismartavyam Na Jatuchit Sarva Vidhi Nishedhasu Eta Eva Yo Kinkaraha. That all other niyama, yama, all vidhi, they are all servants of these two very important rules. All other rules are there. We should get up early in the morning, we should hear Bhagavatam, we should chant Hare Krishna, we observe Ekadashi, we perform varieties of devotional activities. So there are many rules, regulations, there are many do's and don'ts. But then we should know what is the goal of this do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts are not in itself the goal. So when we are doing tapasya, when we are doing varieties of activities, the goal is very clear, and that is Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu Vismartavyam Na Jatuchit. That we remember Krishna always and we don't forget Krishna at any time. So that is the essence of all the rules and regulations. Jai SriSriRadhaRasbihari ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we see here that the essence of following all the rules regulations is to remember Krishna all the time. Because as we say that Ante Narayana Smritihi, that the success is that we remember Krishna at the time of death. But remembering Krishna at the time of death is not so easy. Because if you don't practice it now when we are alive, how it is possible that we will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death? That is not possible. So we see that whoever we have developed some attachment, we have developed some love, we have developed some closeness, we remember generally that personality. Generally we see that if we are walking on the way and then we hit something to our feet, then generally we will remember either mother or whomever we love the most. So the remembrance is almost equal to whom we love. That remembrance is the output, or that's how the remembrance comes. And we can see that these two things, smriti, remembrance, and love, prema, They are like uh, one creates other, like that. So we see that if we love somebody, then we always remember. And then if we are remembering somebody, then slowly we start developing love. So this is a very nice way of when we are here to love Krishna, then how we get that love? By continuously practicing remembrance of Krishna. So if our lifestyle is remembering Krishna always, slowly we will find love for Krishna also appears in our heart. And we see this, this is a very scientific way of creating that emotions in the heart. Because we see that Krishna says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangas Teshu Pujayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama. That's how the Kama, the lust, the attraction for people and things of this world develops. First is Dhyana. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. When the person remembers always, and then Sangha, attachment develops. And that attachment develops Kama. But then spiritually also it is equally true. If the Vishaya is Krishna, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, if that Vishaya is Krishna, then attachment to Krishna develops. And then Sangat Sanjayate Prema, then Prem develops. And then there are so many examples. Mata Rukmini also, because she was hearing about Krishna, developed attachment for Krishna. She had never seen Krishna. And then she developed so much love for Krishna that she was ready to lay down her life if Krishna is not coming and marrying her. So we see that just by remembering Krishna always, even mechanically in the beginning, can lead us to prema in due course of time. And that's how we can see that Prabhupada has made and gave us such a wonderful process that from morning till evening we go to bed. So many arrangements are there just so that we can always remember Krishna. So when we are remembering Krishna, we are practicing to remember Krishna. In the beginning now, here we see that Narad Muni was it was very natural for him to remember Krishna. For us, it may not be so natural. We need some push. We need some very wonderful association of devotees to remember Krishna. So we see that this remembrance is what Krishna is expecting out of us also. That's how he says that Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. That you don't only work, because practically everybody is working in this world for something or the other. And they have so many goals, they have so many plans, and then everybody is head on with activities. But then Krishna is telling that Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. That activity should not be just alone. It should always be with remembrance of Krishna. And then how we remember Krishna? Because we see Bhagavad-gita 15th chapter says Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna says that I only give that remembrance and forgetfulness. So yesterday only I was talking about this in one of the class. So the immediate question came that if the mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha, that Krishna is the source of knowledge, Krishna is the source of remembrance, and Krishna is only the source of forgetfulness. So if I am forgetting Krishna, Who is responsible? Krishna is responsible. And I should remember Krishna. Who is responsible? Krishna is only responsible. So Krishna is responsible for my forgetfulness of him, and Krishna is only responsible for. And that's how we will find that when we ask people that please come to temple, of course now we see that how the floods are coming of devotees to temple, specifically on this new year. But generally we ask that please come to temple, they say that Bhagwan bulayenge to aayenge. That, so they feel that Krishna is responsible for their devotional service. He should make them call or give a call or something, and then so when Krishna does, then that is Krishna's duty. Not we are just here as instrument. So it is not like that. We can't give the blame to Krishna for our forgetting him, because Krishna gives forgetfulness and remembrance equally, depending on our desire. If we desire to remember Krishna, Krishna will give that. If we desire to forget Krishna, Krishna will give that also. So it is not Krishna who is the initiator. We desire and then Krishna fulfills. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathayo bhajamiham. So we remember or we want to remember Krishna, then Krishna will give so many options. Krishna will make so many arrangements. And if we want to forget Krishna, Krishna will also arrange so many opportunities and options for forgetting him. So it is not Krishna, but we are responsible for forgetfulness and remembrance of Krishna. And Krishna will manifest so many varieties of things so that we can remember him throughout our life and at the time of death. And how we remember Krishna, we see that to the degree we remember Krishna's hand in our life, to the degree we remember Krishna, how Krishna is integral part or practically everything, how he has helped us. So to the degree we remember that, because just before this verse, Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi Sannivishto Mattah Smrti Jnanam Apohanam Cha, just few verses before only Krishna starts telling to Arjuna that how he can understand Krishna is everywhere, how Krishna is practically base of everything. And then he talks about Yadadityagatam tejo jagadbhasayate khilam yachandramasi yachagnau tat tejo vidhimamakam. Then he tells that Yadadityagatam tejo, that the splendor of the sun, that is coming from me only. The light of the moon is also coming from me only. So point is that when we see the moon and when we see the sun in the sky, for us it has become so like we have used to it, so we don't think about Krishna. We think that sun is too hot or sun is not very hot. That's how we think. But then once it was, Prabhupada was sitting, and then just backside of Prabhupada there was very nice window, and then the morning sun was coming directly on Prabhupada. Prabhupada's body was like glowing. And then Prabhupada also was very happy receiving these rays of sun. And then Prabhupada said, he said, I am being embraced by Krishna through these rays. So that's how Prabhupada was thinking, that this is mercy of Krishna coming through the rays and then he is embracing me. So that's how a pure devotee thinks of Krishna always. Even when rays are falling on him, he thinks that Krishna's grace is falling on him. So this is how we remember Krishna. And then ahead, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayami Aham Ojasa Pushnami Chaushadis Sarva Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. That the Lord enters into every Gama. Gama means the planet. So he enters into planet and then he makes things move in proper orbit. So we see that even the sustenance of the whole universe is based because Krishna is there. If Krishna is not there, we will not be sitting here in Bhagavatam class like the way we are sitting here. Because we have seen that if somebody is driving some car or even rickshaw goes little faster, we have to catch to the seat to make sure that we are not thrown out of the vehicle or something like that. What to speak of this earth, which is rotating at the speed of 1,07,000 kilometers per hour. So the platform which we are sitting, that is moving with speed of 1,07,000 kilometers per hour, and we are sitting on that. If Krishna was not there, it was not possible. We will not be sitting here, we will be thrown in the space long back. So we see that because Krishna is there as sun and moon, there is a life. And because Krishna is there, he is entering into each planet, keeping things together. We are here sitting. So we see that every activity is actually because of Krishna only. If Krishna is not there, not possible. He says that as a sun, I enters into all the vegetables and gives the juice. So when we are eating, honoring prasad, sabji, we understand that the taste is there because Krishna's presence is there. And we see that so Krishna is making us alive by supporting the whole ecosystem. We are able to do our activities because Krishna is helping us to do that. Krishna is only arranging all our eatables. We can't eat nuts and bolts. We depend on Krishna for our sustenance. And even after creating the food on which we sustain, Krishna goes ahead telling that don't think that my activities, my mercy is over. Then he goes telling, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. He says that even if you eat, which is offered by me only, you don't have a capacity to digest it also. I only have to come as a Vaishvanar Agni and then digest it for you. And we see when that digestive fire is upset, what happens? Then we have to go to the doctor and then do so many things. So we see that Krishna is practically supporting, maintaining everything for us. So when we remember this with gratitude, then Krishna is pleased. And we see that how Prabhupada was remembering Krishna like that. So one Prabhupada disciple came to Prabhupada and he was kind of honestly telling Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you are telling that we should always remember Krishna, but what to do? I am not able to remember Krishna. So Prabhupada asked him, do you remember me? He said, yes. So then Prabhupada said, then you remember me how I remember Krishna. So that is also as good as remembering Krishna. Because A is equal to B, B is equal to C, then automatically A is equal to C. So Prabhupada has made remembrance to Krishna is very easy. Just by being in touch with him, we will be remembering Krishna very easily. And even in this poem which Prabhupada wrote on Jaladuta, Prabhupada writes the same, that how he is remembering Krishna. तोमार मिलने भाई आबार से सुख पाई गोचारणे घूरी दिन भोर कत बने छुटा छुटी बने खाय लुटा पुटी सेई दिन कबे हबे मोर. तो इसे तोमार मिलने भाई आबार से सुख पाई, that by meeting you I'll be having a great fun. Gocharane ghuri dina bhora. Early in the morning we'll go for herding the cows. Kate bane chuta chuti bane khaye luta puti. We'll eat palatable, very nice items in the forest. When that day will come. Aji se subidhane tomar smarana bhela baro asha dakilan tai. आमी तोमार नित्य दास ताई करिएत आश तुमी बिना अन्य गति नाई. So Prabhupada, just before, this is the period when Prabhupada was going through heart attack. 2 heart attack came and Prabhupada said that if third would have come, he would have not survived. But then we see that in this critical situation, what Prabhupada is thinking about the welfare of where he is going, of the people there, and then he is remembering Krishna very sweetly. So here he says that today I have, by your grace, got your remembrance very. So what it means that Prabhupada was not remembering Krishna before? So it is not that Prabhupada is not remembering Krishna. Prabhupada had worked hard to fulfill Krishna's desire, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. So we see that sometimes in life of devotee like this, there is a surge of particular type of remembrance. That is like remembrance sparks like a fire. So here Prabhupada says that आजी से सुविधाने तोमार स्मरण भेल बरो आशा डाकिलांताई. That it has great desire of mine was there, that's how I could remember you. And then he says आमी तोमार नित्य दास ताई करी एत आश तुमी बिना अन्य गति नाई. That I am your eternal servant and I don't have any gati other than you. So we see that this is how Prabhupada was remembering Krishna at his level, where he is remembering Krishna's pastimes, his engagement with Krishna. So I was hearing very nice thing. Our that these 3 things which are there, if we keep, if we remember that what is our connection with Krishna, what is our process to achieve Krishna, and what is goal, then that is the essence of all the Vedic literature. So this Mahavishnu Maharaj, our Dwarka, we had gone, so one of the devotee was sharing that he used to always say this, to say that कृष्ण हमारे पति है और उनके चरणों में रति प्राप्त करना यही हमारे जीवन की असली गति है. तो so he was telling that Krishna is our pati and the real gati, the destination of our life, is to have rati, the attachment to his lotus feet. So that gati we will be able to have if we have association of devotees when we read Prabhupada books, which are always reminding us again and again of our destination. So, we see that if we are remembering Krishna, that is the success of our life. If we are forgetting Krishna, that is greatest tragedy. And that's how this one of the Vaishnava song, it says, Aho dukkham maha dukkham dukkha dukkhataram yatha. And then he says, Kachayam vismrutam ratnam Hare namaiva kevalam. That the real tragedy, and there is no other tragedy as great as this, and that is we forget chanting Hare Krishna. So we see that the greatest tragedy of this human life is when we forget Krishna, we forget our goal. That is the greatest tragedy. And then the same, he says, Saguru sapita chapi samata bandhavopi sa shikshayet sachet sada smartum harer namaiva kevalam. So he says that who is the real guru? One who reminds us of Krishna. Who is our real friend? Who reminds us about Krishna? Who is Mata? Who is mother? Who reminds us of Krishna? So, one who remembers and who reminds of Krishna are our greatest well-wishers. Jai SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Gonitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So, to the degree we are there in the association of devotees who are remembering Krishna and reminding us of Krishna, is the greatest fortune. So today we saw that how the remembrance is equivalent to love, and to the degree we remember Krishna regularly develops love towards him. And we also saw that dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama. That is equally true for spiritual life also. That if we remember Krishna, becomes attached to Krishna, that brings love for Krishna. And then we discussed about how we remember Krishna by how Krishna is helping us. What is Krishna's intervention in our life to make us live and do any activity. We saw from the 15th chapter that how Krishna sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto mattah smrutir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna gives the remembrance and forgetfulness. But then we are the initiator of that. By our desire, Krishna reciprocates. And then we saw that how Krishna remembrance is not so easy. But Prabhupada has made it very easy by giving us varieties of activities, varieties of services by which we can remember Krishna. So, now this book marathon is going on. We are continuing till 15th of this month. So, okay, 10th. Okay, sorry. So, till 10th. So, that is one very amazing invention of Prabhupada in the whole history. How we can remember Krishna even when we are not qualified. Even if we are in modes in this world, even if we are, but then somehow other, yena kena prakarena, Prabhupada has engaged us so that we can remember Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any comments?
Hare Krishna. When people say that Bhagavan बुलाएंगे तो आएंगे, they are correct. क्योंकि there is one verse, I don't remember. Na medhaya na bahuna shrutena. You know this verse? Anybody knows? Na medhaya na bahuna shrutena. So in that verse, it is said, not by intelligence, not by hearing for a long time, you get Krishna. That person whom Krishna chooses, he will get Krishna. That is Upanishad Vakya. Upanishad Vakya. Prabhupada also quoted many times. Recently I was reading. So according to Sri Vaishnavas, Sri Ramanuja and all, there are 5 factors somebody becomes a devotee. I don't exactly remember. Sometime I made notes. So first principle is, according to Sri Ramanuja, Krishna has to choose that person, that now he should go to Vaikuntha. Then he will get association of pure devotees. Then pure devotee teaches him. Then like that there are 5 factors somebody can go to Vaikuntha. First principle is this, that Krishna has to choose that person. That now this person has to come back to Godhead, like that. So the very fact that I am sitting here, only by the mercy of Krishna and hearing Krishna Katha, by the fact that you are speaking about Krishna, it's only by the mercy of Krishna. Then all these devotees who are sitting here, only by the mercy of Krishna, they are sitting here. If I am chanting Hare Krishna, only by the mercy of Krishna. Then Prabhupada writes in 3rd Canto Bhagavatam, 28th chapter, that Nirbija Yoga and Sabija Yoga. Prabhupada speaks about it. So Nirbija Yoga means somebody tries to meditate on Krishna forcibly. Then the Sabija Yoga means Krishna comes in his heart. Prabhupada says we should reach that stage where Krishna comes in your heart. Like that. So that is there, that only by the mercy of Krishna somebody can come to the temple. Like that. So Nammalvar says that they say that by committing sinful activities I will go to hell. But they don't know the moment I go to Tiruvattur, Adikeshwar temple, I laugh at them who say that I go to hell, because as soon as you enter Tiruvattur and go to Adikeshwar temple, Adikeshwar ji makes plans to deliver that person, how to take him back to God. So it's only by the mercy of the Lord everything happens.
Yes, Puji.
Then you very nicely elaborated, everything like that.
Ram Prabhu said very nicely, but something is missing, something is in between. If you say by mercy of Krishna I am able to hear, by mercy of Krishna you are able to speak, then Krishna becomes partial, only to us. And Krishna said, Samoham sarvabhutesu. It's our desire. Krishna fulfills only our desire. We have chosen to sit down in class. And Krishna sanction, okay, you can sit. So he is right, but this part was missing. That our desire, because we have independence to use or not use. For any success, there are 2 things always. Karmana, Daivanitrena, our endeavor and mercy. So these 2 things are. So just anyway, he is right. But now in this verse, I was looking into this verse and how Narad Muni so nicely glorifying Vasudevji who asked the question. This is our tradition and we should maintain this tradition. If anybody asks any question, nonsense, But anybody asks the question who has connection with Krishna, that person need to be glorified. Like Sukadeva Goswami, in beginning only, he said, Variyane sati prashna, kirta loka hito nirpa. And you have asked such a wonderful question. Same way, Sut Goswami, he told to Rishis, Munaya sadhu prishno ham bhaudi bharloka mangalam yat kritam krishna sam prasna in atma something like that. So he the question had to be connected to Krishna. So here he said, Adyaha mama tvaya asmarito. Today I am able to remember Bhagavan Narayana because of you. So he is giving credit. And what is such a special thing about Narayana? Then he tells that how param kalyana punya sravana kirtana. Hearing about the glory of Narayana is what? Param kalyana. Brings ultimate, shreyas, ultimate kalyana. And the hearing chanting itself is punya sravana kirtanam. It's there in first canto Bhagavatam also. Srunatam swakatha Krishna punya sravana kirtanam. So sravana kirtan is punya. Therefore, all the devotees, without wasting time here and there, they should come for hearing regularly. Punya sravana kirtanam. So, to summarize, here he gives the credit to Vasudevji for asking. So that is something for us to learn whenever we ask the question. Ask something which is connected with Krishna. This purpose.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much for describing how we can remember Krishna. I have one question regarding this.
You were saying this thing, Dhyayato.
Vishayan pumsaha.
No, Dhyayato Krishna something. Okay, so on that verse only, you made very, very nicely. That's nice. Dhyayato Visayan Krishna, Krishna Prema Pradaya, something like that, Something you were saying, Krishna
If
Prema.
Vishay is Krishna, then the whole thing.
So it is somewhere or just you quoted, you just added that?
No,
Is there any sloka like that?
No.
Oh,
No
okay.
sloka.
Okay, I want to.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask, like 10th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, Krishna describes about different vibhutis, like I am among this, I am this, like that. So this is one way of remembering Krishna. And there is 10th canto Bhagavatam where there are direct pastime of Krishna. So is there any difference level of remembering Krishna? Is there like direct remembering the pastimes, Nam, Rup, Gol, Lila, and remembering the different energies, or Krishna is telling I am represented in this way, like that?
Yeah.
So can you please?
So, surely there is difference because in the beginning we have to remember how Krishna is great, how Krishna is everywhere. That is the first level. And then remembering direct Krishna's intimate pastimes with his devotees, that is like higher. And that's how the whole Bhagavatam it proceeds. The first 9 cantos describes the supremacy of Krishna, how he is the essence of everything. And then the 10th canto proceeds to his pastimes, like that. So it is very important. This reminds me of Prabhupada had this very first deity of ISKCON. You remember the name of that Krishna deity? So Kartamashai. So I was not knowing, recently I came to know what exactly that is. So that is a Bengali word, Kartamashai. It's a Mahashai, Bengali pronunciation is Moshai. So Karta is the doer, so it's a doer Mahashai. He is the supreme doer. So that is how this Kartamashai Vishnu deity is. So we remember first Krishna, how he is the real doer. We are secondary doers. And then how Krishna is present everywhere in the form of his expansions, energy, like that. So that is very easy at our stage. And then we remember Krishna's pastimes with his devotees. That is little more difficult. It requires more purification and like that. So that is the process. But then Prabhupada has made such mercy that he has given direct 10th canto even before finishing Bhagavatam. So if we read Krishna's pastimes by Prabhupada's mercy, then we can remember Krishna also very easily. Okay? Hare Krishna. So we'll end here because it's time. You can ask personally. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna.